Here we're looking at 15.4, identifying congruent figures. First thing I need for you to do right now is get out your math journals, go to your table of contents, put this heading right here as your title for that section, and whatever page number you're on right now, then go to that page number and I want you to write this definition down. Figures that have the same size and the same shape are congruent. And highlight this word congruent, put it in a different color, whatever you choose. Okay. Then you can draw some shapes. After we're done with your lesson here, you can go back and draw shapes that are congruent. And the key to knowing about congruency is that they have to have the same shape and the same size. So let's take a look at what they go through here. So these pairs are congruent, same shape, yes, and same size. These two pairs, these pairs are congruent, same size, same shape. These two are not congruent. First thing off, not the same shape. So that automatically tells me it's not congruent. These two are not congruent. Yes, they are the same shape, but they are not the same size. So if we look at the yellow pattern blocks here, they appear to be the same size and the same shape. So they are congruent. Yes, congruent. To, they appear to be the same size and the same shape. So these shapes are congruent. The key to congruency, and I get this question a lot. Well, these two are not congruent because this one's sideways and this one's not. So they're not the same. They're not in the same position, but position is not what you use to define if two shapes are congruent. You only look at the same size and same shape. And if those two things are true, then those shapes or objects are congruent. Position does not matter. Okay, if you see this hexagon, it's in a different position than this hexagon, but it's still the same size and it's still the same shape. For this activity, we don't have the rhombus blocks available to you right now, but I have them traced already for you on a separate sheet of paper over here for you. And we'll look at these right now. So if you trace a blue rhombus here, okay, you would trace it right here. So you could go ahead and make one on your own. And it says trace two pattern blocks to make a figure that is congruent to the rhombus. What two pattern blocks would you use to make this rhombus? Well, it'd be two congruent triangles. Because if I divide this, put this line down here, I have two congruent triangles. So I would use two pattern blocks of triangles to make this rhombus, and they are congruent. Okay? Just for your information, a line that divides a shape or an object into two congruent halves is called the line of symmetry. Let me spell it out. Line of sim, and I'm sorry for line of symmetry. Okay, the line of symmetry, a line of symmetry that divides two objects into two congruent halves. And you'll see that in the future. So compare the tracings you made. Are the outlines the same size and shape? Yes, because the pattern, the shape that I did here that says it's supposed to be in blue, and the triangles here are the same size and shape, so they are congruent. So we're looking at you being able to use your vocabulary here. Yes. Are the figures you trace congruent? Yes. The outlines of the blue rhombus, which is this one here, and the triangles are the same size and the same shape. So if you put this one on top of this one here, you'll still have the same size and the same shape. So now let's look at the next question here. Which pattern blocks appear to be congruent to shape A? Well, here's shape A. Same shape, negative. Same shape, same size. That is correct. It is correct. So shape C would be the pattern block that appears to be congruent. And here's the question I was talking to you about earlier. I get this a lot from students. There's always a student that looks at this and says, whoa, neither shape B nor C are congruent to shape A because C, well, first of all, B is not the right shape, and C is in a different position. And again, as we referred to earlier, position is not an indicator if an object is congruent to another. It is only same size and same shape. If it satisfies those two, then you're good. So we're looking at two pattern blocks that you can use to combine to make the figure congruent to the hexagon. And here's your hexagon. Which one of these shapes, if you have two of them and you combine them, will make the hexagon? Can you see it? You should be able to see it. And if I use my line of symmetry, and if I go right here, oh, there it is right there. Two trapezoids. Two trapezoids. I know you saw that one quick. So it'd be two trapezoids. So we know that two trapezoids will make a hexagon. Keep that in your head right now. So the next questions, we're looking at a first figure here. And tell if the second one is congruent to the first one. And we'll write yes or no here for both 3 and 4. So first of all, same size. Well, first of all, same shape. Yes. Same size. No. No. So these two are not congruent. The next one, same shape. Yes. Same size. Yes. It is. They are congruent. And I can even count the dots here if I wanted to make sure. But visually, you'll be able to see it. So this one would be yes. These two shapes are congruent. Okay, the next one. List all the ways you can use congruent pattern blocks to make the hexagon shown. Okay, so we already defined one, and we did it in the first one. I can use two trapezoids. So two trapezoids would be one of your answers. Or I could use congruent triangles. If I put and I'm going to do my best to draw them. But if I had the pattern blocks, and they will look like this. So 6 triangles would make a congruent hexagon. And there's one more. Do you see it? And I'll do my best to try to draw it for you. Like that. And then like that. Do you see them? 3 what? Do you see the shapes here? See it? Yes. 3 rhombuses. Here's one rhombus, here's another, and here's another. I know they're not as clear, but you see them right there. So it'll be 2 trapezoids, 6 triangles, and 3 rhombuses. Okay, Isabel says that all squares are congruent. Explain if she's right or not. Are all squares congruent? Well, the answer would be no. They would not all be congruent. Because yes, all squares have the same shape, because it's a square, but not all squares are the same size. So that's what I'm looking for you to write down here, indicating to me that not all squares are the same size. You need to start using that language here. Let's look at the shapes over here. List all the pairs of figures that are congruent. So first of all, let's go to Y. Do I see another trapezoid here? First of all, I don't see another one, so I can X Y out. And you should already see them now. W and Z are congruent. Same size, same shape. V and X are congruent. Same size, same shape. Again, different positions, but that's okay. It's still the same size, and it's still the same shape. They will try to throw you off by putting them in awkward and weird positions. And visually, you'll have to, if you know what congruent means, same size and same shape, you're good. Well, thank you so much for paying close attention. Okay, you have your daily task assessment to work on. Same types of questions, just walk through the questions. You can use your notes. Make sure you go back to your notes and add any information that you learned right now from some of your questions here. You can add those in there. Okay. The more detailed your notes are, the more you are to remember it. So good luck on your daily task assessment and your homework and practice. Thank you so much for being attentive. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. Thank you.